And it's Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Hi, family. Well, family, I know you all heard about that situation where the guy was on the train and he was like, I guess, like running around screaming. And everybody was like, okay, we had enough of him. So a guy comes behind him and chokes him and takes him down. Um, and some other guys help him, and the guy ends up murdering this guy. Now, I don't know how, but people are finding justification for this. Okay, this guy could have had a record 2 miles long. That is not the death penalty. He doesn't get the death penalty because he may have a record. This guy may be mentally ill. He does not get the death penalty because he's mentally ill. He may have been annoying the people on the train, but you don't get the death penalty for annoying people on the train. He was a black male. You do not get the death penalty for being a black male. That dude wasn't a hero. He murdered someone. He murdered one of God's children. And I'm going to tell you this too, because he was mentally ill, right? Because he wasn't 100%, like that's the least of God's. He's among the least of his. When he talks about the least of his, he's talking about the people that can't take care of themselves, like children, right? People that can't care for themselves, take care of themselves. That's the least of God's. So as disturbing as that story is, what disturbs me even more is people fundraising and sending this guy money. This guy deliberately killed this man. The people on the train, although they were annoyed, were hollering to him like, stop doing that, you're going to kill him. And the guy kept on. And so I think that disturbs me even more, because there are people that stand in agreement with this man's behavior. And some of these people confess Christ and say they're Christians. And so I'm so like disturbed by it. This guy got, as of yesterday, like over $1 million for his defense. He's being given money to defend himself for murdering the least of his. So let's see, where is it? It is Matthew chapter 7, verses 15 through 20. Just let me give that to you. I'm sorry, I lost it. Matthew, I had all this together before I started this. Chapter 7, verses 15 through 20. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruit. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth bad fruit, or evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. And so if you call yourself a man of God, if you call yourself a preacher of the gospel, and you stand in agreement with that evil, we know you by your fruit. The fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That gentleman exhibited none of that. And if you stand in agreement with that behavior, that is directly antithetical to any behavior that God would want to see from you. And so, yeah, any of you Christians that supported that disgusting evil act, repent of that. Repent of that. You pastors, repent of that. And you tell your people that you repented of it. And if your pastor spews garbage like that, that's okay, you have a a false prophet in your pulpit, and you need to find a new church. Don't stand in agreement with that. Amos 3:3 says, do two walk together unless they agree? So if you walk in agreement with that, you agree with it. If you agree with that behavior, you're walking with evil. And the Bible also says, like, what fellowship has light with darkness? To come up behind someone and choke them to death, knowing that you're choking them to death. This wasn't an accident. He didn't accidentally apply too much pressure. He deliberately did that. People told him to stop. So knowingly killing someone, the least of God's, knowingly doing that, and you stand in agreement with that, your fruit is just as evil as his fruit. Your light should never walk with the darkness. So fam, I am totally through. Repent. Repent of that. Join us again next time when In His Will Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Until then, bye.